Okay, in the last class, we have seen about the importance of spirituality. So in that topic, we mainly discussed about how this material world is embedded with a lot of problems. Mm. Now, like somebody may say, what is the necessity of discussing all those things? Like we know, like we have a lot of problems. Why you discuss and again increase our anxiety more and more? Mm. Because it is said, if we if if we identify the problem, then half the solution is already reached. So we are actually basically what we are trying to do. We are trying to uh, find out all the what are the problems that are mentioned in the scriptures. So the problems that we discussed are common to all. Mm. Like as we said, no, like there will be some problems which are like problems to us, but for someone it is a solution. For example, if our car breaks, it's a problem to us, but for someone it is a solution. For car mechanic or car companies, it is a solution. Either you're going to buy a new car or spend your money on fixing the car. So if you lose job, it's a problem for us, but it's a solution for the company. Company is saving a lot of some money, and also somebody will be getting the job or something like that. So anything material problem we take in this world, it is a problem for us, but it is a solution for someone. Hmm? So if somebody, like if an animal is like just like a tiger is killing a deer, so it's a problem for the deer, but it's a solution for the tiger. So the problems that we discussed are the problems which are common to all and which cannot be avoided by anybody. They are they are there for the richest persons, they are there for the poorest persons. Okay, so that way we have identified the problem, and we shortly discussed uh, what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like no, just by becoming his devotee, we can be able to transcend the problems. Mm. But how is it possible, like like who Krishna is? uh, like how can we trust in Krishna? Like I'm just talking in terms of how a critic person will think. Why should I believe you? Why should I spend my time in performing bhakti to you? Mm. So he may think like that. So, and he may say, like some people may say, like actually there is nobody like God or something like that. Everything came by chance. They propose theory of evolution, how different organisms has developed from one being to another being, from from bacteria and all these things. They came the fishes, from fishes to aquatics, then amphibians, and then like four-legged animals, and then finally came the man. So that is a theory propounded by the modern scientists, or basically the atheists will have a lot of confidence in that theory. Mm. So so let us analyze the fact: does God really exist? Mm. And if he exists, so like if and who is he the creator of this entire material world? And if he is a creator, why did he create this material world with so many problems? No, and we can catch hold of him and ask him why you created this world with so many problems, like that. So we just analyze this fact. Like let us see how this creation is made up. Okay, like who is behind all these things? What is his main intention? Okay, so just like will our main flow will be like we first go with our observations, and also we discuss about what different scientists say about this universal fact, and we'll discuss some interesting questions and little bit of activity, and then finally what is our take home message from this session. Here, so if you observe, like, when you see a scenic place, when you go on a, sightseeing or looking for, uh, to any beautiful place, somebody goes to Niagara waterfall, somebody goes to, uh, some nice scenic place. Okay, when we see that, we may wonder how, like, with such a perfection this everything is maintained. Hmm? All the greenery trees, nice waterfalls, and everything like that. Like, is there anybody arranging all these things? Is there anybody designed everything in a systematic way? How can it otherwise will be so harmonious, so beautiful, this entire creation? Hmm? So that we generally observe, when we see any beautiful location or anything like that. So like, just for by our observation, when we see an art, no, then we don't think like this art came by itself, because somebody made that art, somebody drew that art. So when we see a beautiful organization, so just like there is an artist behind an art, there is a organizer behind an organization. There is a creator behind a creation, a designer behind the design, and energetic behind the energy, and a lawmaker behind the laws. When we see, when we go outside, there are traffic laws, this law, that law. So we abide by many laws, like, but there is a person behind all those laws. So that is our, like, simple observation. Nobody has to give any proofs or any theories, anything like that. So these everything, all these things are for, for the mankind to appreciate or to enjoy, or to take an advantage, of the all facilities in a systematic way, so that everybody will get benefited. So in the same way, like, when we see an art, like, these arts, this first art, like, Vincent and Van Gogh and Thomas Henry, these are the famous paintings by these artists. Mm. But these are also arts. So these are also arts, but who is behind all those things? These arts are natural photographs. Now, when we see a beautiful image in the beautiful scene in the nature, they click these pictures, and we can say who such a nicely created this art. So when a creator implies a creation. So when we see a nice flower, which has with nice petals, with nice smell, and this texture, nice color, like, we should observe, just to just take an example of a paper rose. For to prepare a rose out of paper, what we need? We need scissors, we need glue, we need colorful papers. In the same way, what how then what to speak of the natural flower, no, which is made of so delicate petals and nice leaves, you know, with the nice fragrance. So with everything came from the nature himself. So nature itself. So, and every creation, this all these things, this any beautiful scenic views, or the flowers, or anything that we appreciate in this nature, there is a fine art behind that, fine intelligence behind that. So there is an artist behind that. That is none other than God himself. So, and also when we speak about organizations, when we speak organizations, we take of different organizations what we come across, no? Like police department, revenue department, military defense mechanism, like that, health department. mm. So it's not, these organizations exist not only in the human beings but also in the animals, no? For example, if you take honeybees, if you see honeybees, in honeybees there are different kinds of classifications. There is a queen bee which will lay eggs, and there is a worker bee, no? And there is a soldier bee. There are different distinctions. Not all bees are same. Queen bee lays eggs and worker bee collects the honey, and this guard, like a guard bee, it guards the entrance of, it guards the what do you call that one, honey from the attackers. So, and also this termites also, they are in termites. The scientist has no, if you are available I can show videos, but no, but let me explain this. These termites, they are like worker termites which will mix the clay and also grows the fungus for all the termites to eat. These are worker termites. And there are soldier termites, and these soldier termites are equipped with a good amount of poison in their fangs. And so, and there are different classifications. They construct in a nice organization. All the termites function like a synchronous one system. So there is a nice organization in them also. And also like honeybees, like spiders. Spiders know how to nicely construct the spider web. Now, if you see the spider web, entire web is based on 2 or 3 strings which he created, and scientists analyze that to create such an artistry. Spider has to know the tension. He has to have precise calculations at what distance every string has to go, and what should be the thickness of the main thread and what should be the thickness of the thread in the middle. So according to scientists, the spider web is the hardest substance, mm, with its thickness and with its precise. If we make a spider web with steel, our steel spider web will be far more less weaker than what a spider web makes. Mm. So this is a nice artistry, nice organization behind it. So this, when we see spider web, it is nicely, so nice design with some threads going in the horizontal direction, some going in the vertical around direction. So it's a very nice artistry. And also silkworms, and also like what do you call that one? Let me see. So our conclusion is there is not only an organizations that exist in the humans but also in the animals also. Likewise, if you see in the creation in our daily life, when we see a beautiful nice car, it is manufactured by someone. When we see a nice laptop or computer, it is assembled by somebody. If you see a nice nice watches, it is designed by somebody. So even like marvelous constructions like like Eiffel Tower or Taj Mahal, anything like that, they are created by somebody. So nothing came by chance. There is somebody who is behind all those things, big buildings, everything. So in the same way, what to think of this nice universe, which is full of mysticism, which is perfectly composed and running with precise calculations. So this universe, in the same way, every building has a constructor and every car has a manufacturer. does this universe should also have a creator too, right? So this creation implies a creator. So this one example, like if you see this seed, there is in California, there is one tree. I am not able to recall this tree. So this tree, sequoia tree. So this tree grows 84 meters and 29 meters in width. And this is the largest tree in the world. And its seed is only like less than a centimeter. So the ability for such a big tree to develop from such a small seed is created with a perfect calculation with everything related for this tree is embedded in this such a small seed. So this is a is a it is a miracle. It's a wonderful thing in the creation. So just like and one more thing, like our human brain is like can store data, and like it's made of if you see the calculations about human brain, it is most of the part is made of fat, and like more than 70% of the human brain is made of water. So fat, water, and a little bit of proteins. Can the flesh store, analyze, and store the information, analyze the information, and create some things, with such a nice precision? This is also a wonderful fact to ponder upon. And if you see the micro world, which is like where we have to use a equipment like microscope or something to observe, even in the micro world also. So this DNA, RNA, everything is such a precisely calculated and designed in such a way that, like even like there are like so many cells in each in a human chromosome. There are 46 chromosomes and 2 meters of DNA and 3 billions of DNA subunits, like that. So in the as per humans, like what we know according by crystal theory, like there are certain kind of these are the shapes that we know by our by our intelligence, by our as per our knowledge. So these are the lattice structures. So this lattice structure is arrangement of molecules in a substance. So this lattice structure is such a critical thing that little bit of deviation in this lattice structure, like if you take a graphite, it has certain kind of lattice structure, but little bit slight molecular change, it will transform into diamond. Graphite is such a black, opaque, and useless, and like we don't find much value compared to diamond, which is so brilliant, so bright, effulgent. So such a precise calculations are there. And even if you take the universe also, like a sun is in the middle and all the planetary systems are going around, and each every planet and every satellite, like moon of the planets, are going around each of us, each of it in such a precisely calculated manner that it will maintain its equilibrium, its time, and with including minute to minute. So for such a complicated galaxies, for such a complicated systems, like they also follow certain pattern. It is called Fibonacci theory. Like according to this theory, what the scientists found is everything in the universe is following certain sequence. Like just like from how it's from becoming from smaller to bigger. If you see the in the middle of a flower, or a sunflower seed or any flower, how the petals are arranged, how any this cells and molecule the cells in the human body are arranged, the structures, and also if you see the entire universal, when we observe through the telescope, when they observe the universes, it also follows the same pattern. So who is the person, like, if something come by chance, anything came which comes by chance will not have such an perfect organization, perfect sequence. It's they identified it's a precise calculation. Just like any satellite, when we want to talk by phone, our signal from our phone is going to go to a satellite, and the satellite is maintained by a department of scientists, like there are different parameters, who, like, the scientists monitor all the parameters of the satellite, its orientation, spin, velocity, with the speed at which it is going around the earth, uh, and orbit decay corrections. If satellites moves here and there, they correct the its motion. And also any radiation, like due to, because it is above the ozone layer, so is it getting any affected because it is closer to sun, right? So any cosmic radiation damage or heat, like, is it getting overheated or something like that? So, and distance from the earth it is maintaining at every point of time. So there is entire team of scientists that are always working behind each and every satellite. So then, if such a small thing like a satellite needs so many people, then what to speak of an earth which is 10 to the power 6 cross 10 to the power of 21 metric tons, no, the weight of the earth, that many tons of earth that is going around the sun, which maintains such a precise calculations in its rotation and in its revolution. So who is maintaining that this entire thing? So it is said that this earth goes around the sun, like, 106,000 kilometers per hour. So such a speed, such a and who is in control? Who is controlling that one? Like, not NASA, not any traffic police. No, it should be somebody greater, somebody who has power to do that. So in the same way, when we see a design, it implies a designer. So when we see any energy, if we see the sunlight, then there is a sun behind it. So even if we look around the world around us, like, for suppose if you take a college, so college starts at morning 9:30 a.m. And goes until few hours, and all the students should be in the class, or attend their uh, respective classes in such and such times. Who is making all these rules and regulations? Because these are made by college principal or college management. In the same way, if we take the traffic, in India, they said they should keep left, but in US we keep right. Who is making all this? This by traffic police, like Indian traffic police or American traffic police. If you say any game, cricket or baseball or football, anything, there are certain rules and regulations for each and every game. How many, how the points are scored, who wins and who loses, what is the criteria, and so these rules and regulations are given by the authority, and who is behind the board of the sport. So how these all things are, there is a person behind it, means, or a team of persons behind it. Okay, if you see the chemicals, the chemicals are arranged in periodic table based on their chemical properties, but not like, periodic. This is called periodic law. but it is not like something by chance, like all the chemicals, so identified these chemicals and these chemicals are by chance arranged, because they are based on this is an organization. Mm. So in the same way, if we observe, like even the scientific rules and regulations, for suppose the Newton's laws are there, Earth, Newton is the one who found that Earth has the gravitational force. No, in this like how, like he was sitting and studying under the apple tree, and apple fell on his head, and then he started questioning, and he discovered the gravitational force. So when we say any scientist, we only say they discovered that one. We don't say they invented that. Hmm? Sir, they made that. No? Newton only discovered the gravitation, but he did not, created the gravitation. Hmm? So there are specific laws of physics. If you kick a ball, how much height it should go, it depends on how much force with which you are kicking, like that. So there are specific laws around, uh, and scientists are keep on discovering. There are laws of reflection, refraction. mm, There are optical laws, and also thermodynamic laws, how the heating and cooling happens, and also in the there are specific laws even in the micro world, which involves chromosomes, atoms, electrons, such as small things, and to the macro world, to the universes, which planet should go on, like what speed it should maintain so that it remains in the orbit. Mm. So this entire creation is managed by precise laws of mathematical accuracy in this world. So all these laws are flawless. Just as we discussed previously, for a institution to run, there should be a person, like for a school to run, there should be a principal. In the same way, for all these laws to be executed without any flaws, there should be a lawmaker. Yeah? We should try to understand that who is that lawmaker, who is maintaining all these laws, natural laws. And also sometimes some people are born beautiful, some persons are not born so beautiful. Okay, some persons are born handsome and some are not so handsome. Mm. Some are very rich and some are very not so rich. Some are well educated and some of them do not have any education. Mm. So who decides all these things? Why this person has to take birth in this family, and he has to get such nice education, and he will become rich and he will become well educated, and he will live in different way. And some other person who has to be born in such a poor family where he doesn't get education, or he doesn't have enough, even if he works so hard, he is hardly meeting his ends. So he will be put in different conditions. Also, if some people born in certain country, everything is managed nicely, but in some other countries, even like even to get a meal a day, that there a lot of people struggle. Who will decide whom to born where, and what type of intelligence we have to get, how much happiness we have to get, who decide all these things. So scripture says, no, like just like there is a intelligence behind this also. No, for example, we choose what we have to what we want to study. We choose which job we have to work. We choose whom to marry, or and also we choose which car to buy and which car to drive, and we choose where to live, which apartment to buy or which home to live in. But we don't choose our parents. We don't choose our how we look, the shape of our face, something like that. We don't choose our intelligence, how much intelligence I should have. So these are all given by the nature, by the destiny, based on our previous karma. So that's why it is said that in the scriptures, some people say it is it is by chance you are born rich, and by chance they are born poor. No, it's not like that. Scripture says that nothing is by chance. Everything is precisely calculated. How much, what you should get, and how much happy you should be, and how much suffering you should get is precisely calculated. Srimad Bhagavatam, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a shloka. It says, Karmana daivanetena jantur dehopapate sriya pravishta udaram pumso reta kanashraya. Means Karmana daivanetrena. By the netra, by the supervision of Daiva, the God, these all laws are precisely implemented based on their karma of the living entity. So the what we by our observation, we have observed that there is a person behind all these laws and rules and regulations. And what scientists also says is, like famous scientists, we will not be quoting all the scientists, but let us take some famous scientists like Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein says there is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws. And he is Erwin Schodnaker. He also says that the science tries to give no science cannot explain all the things that we come across, and mostly like the most important things like why this happening to us, and like that. And even if science tries to explain it, it doesn't make any sense. No, and we should not take them seriously. He says that. And is Lord Kelvin. He also says that if you think strongly enough, you will be forced by the science to believe in God. So it is said that more than majority of scientists are believers of God. In the Isaac Newton also, he believes in God. He says, what we know is a grain of sand in the beach of ocean, in the beach of an ocean sea. So, like there is a nice story of Isaac Newton and his friend. One time, Isaac Newton has created a universal model, how different planets are going around the sun, and how different moons and all these things are revolving around that. So there is he used to have a friend who doesn't believe in God. So Isaac Newton made this universal model, and he kept it in his lab, and then he went inside, like into other room. And by chance, his friend came in and saw this universal model, and he was very much appreciating. Oh, this universal model is so nice and so nicely depicted all the natural phenomena of how different planets are working, like that. And he says, "Who made it?" That his friend asked to Newton, like, who made this universal model? And Newton says, actually, like last night there was some effulgent light in the room, and suddenly in the morning this universal model manifested here. And this friend says, you are you are trying to fool me. I don't believe in what you say. Can you please tell who made this? And Newton kept saying, no, 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 that what I'm telling is true. No, there is some kind of natural disturbance in the room. So in the morning I came, and then suddenly this nice universal model is laying here on this table. So then after no telling this for many times, then his friend got fed up, and he said, looks like you have some motive behind your answer. You are trying to hide something from me. Then Newton says, if you can't believe this, such a small universal model came by chance, how can you believe that enter this such a complicated universal matters came by chance or evolved by themselves? So this is a small story, and it is relevant for most of us also. We generally walk outside and say, oh, this nature is good, everything is coming by chance, I'm maintained nicely, like that. So we take everything for granted, and we see everything, but at the same time we wouldn't see them. We see the wonderful things in the nature, and we don't acknowledge the person behind that, and what should be the purpose behind this all these things creation. So Max Born is also great scientist. He says that I saw I saw in it the atom, the key, the deepest secret of the nature, and it revealed me the greatness of the creator and created. Mm. It is said that different big planets, they float around the sun. In the same way, even the smallest atom, the center will be the nuclei, and around it all the electrons will revolve. That way, both positive and negative charges are balanced. Mm. So Ramanujan, he's a great mathematician. He says that no, all the equations, uh, uh, an equation for me is has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God. So all these great scientists, Michael Faraday, and all these scientists, they actually says that are behind every law, everything, every organization, there is a intelligent brain behind it. Mm. Why we believe in the scientists? Because they present the facts with such proof and conviction, with evidences. So when these scientists are believing in God, like in believing in some creator, then we should also give a thought to it. And next thing is a simple question. So what is the origin of this universe? So by our discussion, like is it Big Bang or Big Bang or intelligent design or came by chance? Can anybody answer? Intelligent design, okay. Ribol, are you listening? And what is the purpose? Purpose is eat, sleep and marry, or sometimes happiness, sometimes distress, or no purpose, or to understand God and life. No, the answer is D, to understand God and life. No, so when we see any complicated machine, nothing comes by chance. No, like which has no purpose. No, because everything has a purpose behind it. So then we have to analyze what is the purpose behind this complicated universe. Uh, which is full of such variegatedness and everything. So if we compare like universal affairs, with our comparison with our universal government, with our government, national government has a home ministry which maintains law and order, and which it has a ministry which supplies medicine. It has a ministry for energy, for electricity and lighting, and it has finance ministry which maintains its financial affairs, and defense ministry which protects from dangers. In the same way, just like universe has laws. If you do wrong things, you get wrong reaction, bad reactions. And just like the doctors in our government, there are some Ayurvedic herbs. If you get any disease, by taking some herbs you can get cured. So nature is giving us the medicines also. So in the same way, like energy ministry is there. There are sun and moon who gives us light and heat. And also just like finance ministry, nature gives us gold, silver and other diamonds. So defense ministry, we can compare is to ozone layer and our immunity of our body. And also education, there are various scriptures like Vedas, Bible, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, like that. So the conclusion is, behind every government there is a prime minister. Behind any universal government there is God. So Prime Minister maintains or controls one country, but God maintains and controls whole universe. So it is said in Bhagavad Gita, just like Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya, Mai Sarvamidam Proktam Sutre Mani Gana Iva. Just like pearls rest on the string, in the same way, everything in this universe rests on Him. Him means rest on me. Everything rests upon me means Krishna is saying that everything, like even organizations or or laws and everything, depend on me, on Krishna. So what is our conclusion? What is our prime duty? Knowing all these things. So from this discussion, like we should understand that we understood that we should use our intelligence to appreciate God, God brain and greatness of God, and use science to glorify God's creation and to create worldwide spiritual awareness and to understand and explain the purpose of Lord and His creation. So basically, when we know that there is somebody who is helping us, who is doing all this for us, then we should try to understand why that person is doing all this for us. No? Or is there any relation that we have with him? And if so, what is it? That's what we have to find. So that is the most thing for today. And next time we will see another session. You have any questions or comments, we can discuss here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, are you able to follow, Prabhu?
Yeah, I listened. It was a good class. I think it's important, from what I've learned from the Gita, is not only is it important to understand God and understand His position, but to also understand um, how to how to satisfy Him and how to serve Him.
Yeah, true.
Really show your appreciation and not just appreciate. To actually show that you appreciate is really important. And yeah, but yeah, everything else, all the different examples and stuff that you provided make it really easy to relate how and see how literally everything in your life depends on Krishna. It's
That's
like the
true.
pearls on the thread. That they would be lying on the floor rolling around if they didn't have that thread to sit on. And it's not like Krishna is actually working very hard in maintaining all of this. He's just kind of resting there, and the pearls are just resting on top of him, and there's not a whole lot of energy being lost or anything like that. So um, yeah, I think that the pearls on the thread is like a really great analogy.
Yeah, he's the source for everything. Everything depends on him. If anything is maintained in this universe, it is depending on him for its maintenance. So
Yeah,
anything else?
I guess
Yeah.
that's why it's so important to serve him and keep Krishna happy, because everything is reliant upon him, and whenever things aren't going the way that he likes, then he's gonna have to step in, and it's gonna make things even more unsettled than they already are. So it's like when Krishna came down to earth, there was at a time of this great war, and I think it's important for everybody to just live in Krishna consciousness, to where we don't have to get to the point of Krishna actually having to come down personally